Nebraska versus Northwestern. Nebraska wins this one 28-21. Big time win for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and came with a little bit of controversy at the end of the game. Some holding that the Northwestern fans were not too fond of. I think the Northwestern fans had a case, but I also think that there were some missed calls early on in the game that Nebraska didn't get either. So it's not like this always comes down to one play, and the officiating is always perfect going up into it. This was a game that had pretty bad officiating in other spots, and like I said in the performance rating recap, you never leave it up to an official, right? Leave no doubt. Never leave it up to an official and try to never put yourself in that situation. I get it. Easier said than done, but still, Nebraska comes out of this one with the win. Thoughts on the game and the most impressive part about the win, Zach?
Again, I'm going more big picture. This was not a given for Nebraska, right? We said, I mean, I picked Northwestern to win this outright, and I thought for a big part of this game, Northwestern was going to do that. And a lot of us had Nebraska doing really well this season. I think I had them in my playoff preseason. But I think it's easy to think of the expectations and to forget the achievement that this is. They're going to a bowl game for the second consecutive year now. And I know that's not the target for Nebraska. They want to be a playoff team. They want to be a national championship contending team. They want to win the Big Ten. But guys, you have to understand, like not everybody's Kurt Signetti. And what Matt Rhule is doing in remaking the culture at Nebraska and getting to a second consecutive bowl game where they didn't go to a bowl game for 7 years, from 2017 to 2023. And for them to do it against a gritty Northwestern team who's really showed a lot of resolve, has really improved from week one. I think it's a big achievement for them that they can continue to build upon, because they're getting to 6 wins in week 10, or week 9, not at the end of the season like a year ago. So I think that's big for them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, and I think that a lot of this kind of goes to Matt Rhule, right? Matt Rhule had a terrible week last week. He came out and said the guys weren't prepared. We didn't. I don't know remember if he said exactly they didn't take Minnesota seriously enough, but it sounded like that, if I'm not mistaken. And you had some questions about Matt Rhule, but I think in this game you saw just how good Matt Rhule is, not necessarily in game, but because who did he go out and hire this offseason, Zach? He leveled up his coaching staff by bringing in Mike Ekeler. And you might say, oh, who's Mike Ekeler? It's the special teams coordinator for this team. And you might say, oh, well, that's not that big of a deal. You know, special teams, they were putrid in special teams last year. Putrid. It was awful. They sucked. You wanted to see how much their offense was bad. It was 10 times worse with the special teams and what they had to go through last year. This year, he goes out. He gets one of the best, if not the best, special teams coordinator in the country. He brings him in to Nebraska, and the special teams looks fantastic this season. They have walk-ons going out there and special teams and playing better than some other special teams units for some of the top-tier teams in the country. Mike Ekeler is doing a great job with the punter. That Archie Wilson kid, I believe he's a true freshman from Australia. The kid was like in tears at the beginning of the season because he missed his family so much. And I'm not knocking him for it, man. I feel bad. You're all the way over from Australia, leaving your family and everything else. I get it, but he has overcome that, and that's a huge part of Mike Ekeler, this coaching staff, for them to be able to get that done. It's the return games, them returning the kick return to begin the second half. I believe it was 95 yards there. Just outstanding stuff from Mike Ekeler. The most impressive part to me was that special teams, because I'm not going to say that Northwestern or that Nebraska wouldn't have won the game without that special teams, but I definitely think that there are a couple of games this season that may have been a bit more dicey if you did not have the special teams you have this year.
Yep.
According to PFF, this is the best special teams unit in the country, according to PFF.
In the country. Wow.
In the country, which is huge, right? Because they grade off your actual performance, not just stats or whatever else. They grade off your actual performance, and they're going out there and they're just looking fantastic. So they've leveled up their special teams. Mike Ekeler best hire, in my opinion, for Matt Rhule so far. And I'm honestly really impressed with Matt Rhule. Satterfield last year, he came in, replaced him with Dana Holgerson. Dana Holgerson has been good this season. I think that, Nebraska fans maybe left a little bit more to be desired in some areas. But Mike Ekeler has been a home run, and Matt Rhule is identifying issues and weaknesses on his team, and
Mhm.
he's making hires and getting players in to fix those things. Excellent work by Matt Rhule. I could not have more
Absolutely.
praise for that.
Absolutely.
So, any thoughts on Northwestern or anything, Zach?
I mean, I feel like Northwestern's playing with house money. Like, I don't think people really expected them to be at 5-3. They performed well. It's just they've got to, they need to, if they want to get to a bowl game, they got to find a way to right the ship, because they have the last four: SC, Michigan, Minnesota, and Illinois. Those, you know, I think Minnesota might be winnable. Um, I think if they catch Michigan on the wrong or like on the right day, I think they could possibly win that. Illinois might be winnable, but like they're gonna be underdogs in all those games, I think.
Well, and I think that you could make a case that Northwestern played a really, really good game in this one. They were 50% on third down. If
Yep.
Preston Stone hadn't thrown a couple of those those interceptions, which you can say if he didn't, that was also Nebraska's defense being really good, right? So you can't just
Mhm.
take that away. But Northwestern had a chance in this game if they would have not turned the ball over and would have had some better special teams. But ultimately, Nebraska did what they had to do to get the win. I'm with you. I think they could possibly take down a team like Michigan. I'm not going to pick it to happen, but they do play a brand of football that could kind of get them there. And man, we talked about it at the beginning. Caleb Komalafe, he's a good back. He's a good back. Nebraska, credit to them. They held Joseph Hyman in check. He didn't really break out for much in the game, but overall, just good game for Nebraska. Got the win, and I think that this team's feeling much more confident. I don't know if they're feeling playoff confident. Their playoff hopes are still alive, but they're just feeling much more confident overall, and I love to see that for them.
You're talking about Nebraska.
Yes, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. For a minute, I was like, I don't think Northwestern was ever thinking playoff, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's good.
hey, if you're a Nebraska fan, if Nebraska football fan, hit that like button for us. We appreciate you doing that. If you are just